Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here for day 22 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And here is the gorgeous sketch that we are using today. And this is from the infamous and fabulous Roni Sue Scrapper. And you can find her link below in the description box, and you should definitely check out her YouTube channel. She makes some amazing layouts and does a lot of paper crafting and paper piecing, which is amazing. So you should definitely check out her YouTube channel. And she is hopping along with this fantastic 30 days of sketches. Today's Dotty About Flair prompt is wood grain, and this is from Recollections, and it is an embossed, like metallic, and it's got wood grain in it, and I love this paper. I just got it at Michael's on clearance for like, I don't know, 50 cents or something. So I have these two pictures of my niece's graduation. This is during 2020, just like with my daughter. If you've seen videos I've already created about her graduation, so everything was a little different. This sketch has the film strip, so I wanted to go ahead and do that, but because the pictures are bigger than what I'm assuming are in the sketch, I had to make my film strip big. So this is my flare that I'm using, and it is like a green. It's not dead set on the green color that I'm using, but where I place it, it's not going to be a problem. It still brings that green, and it's chevron. So this layout actually does not take me very long. Altogether, it took me less than 30 minutes, and that is with everything other than cutting out my stuff on the Cricut. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was I needed to trim my pictures, and this yellow piece is the piece that came out of the film strip. So that way I was able to determine that it needed to be a little bit longer and of course a little bit wider than that piece so that it would completely fill the space. So I line it up at the top where I want it because her cap goes all the way to the top, and I don't want to cut too much of it off, but I also don't want to cut off, the bottom either. So a little bit of the cap, I think like an itty bitty corner got cut off. So I'm just making sure that it's going to fit under there. And so since that is going to work, I just use that picture to base my next trim for the other picture off. And it was a little easier to trim because it was a further away picture, not a selfie. So this is my sister and my niece. And then the picture of my niece holding her diploma. And I covered up her name. Not that you can really see it because it's like super itty bitty. But, just in case. So I get my Nuvo Deluxe, and what I'm going to do is, if you couldn't tell, I'm going to put this down on the blue paper. Their school colors are the green, the gold, and the blue. And so I thought those were the colors would be best to pull in. And the blue is not going to stand out a whole lot. I mean, it's definitely there, but it just fills those little holes on the sides. So I use my adhesive runner and just get that picture in there to where it is flush on the left side and not showing through on the top, bottom, or on the right side. And when that works out, it makes me super happy, and I get the next one down, and I am ecstatic that it worked the way it did. And I cut this part out a little because there's no point in you watching me adhese that. I just put adhesive throughout pretty much the entire back of that film strip. And then I take my scissors and cut carefully all the way up and over so that I can get that to look like this. And I did create the film strip on my Cricut. I took one individual film strip and I merged them together or welded them. That's why there's the smaller little gaps in the middle, but I'm perfectly fine with that. It was better than trying to weld it by myself after I had cut them, and I'm okay with the differential and the those little holes over on the side. So this green paper is just a cardstock that was in my solids, and it's like a Kelly green because that's the color. It's pretty spot on to their cap and gown. So I'm wanting to get that down, and it's pretty darn centered. I did a pretty good job. And I'm trying to decide where I want to put that little Dotty About flare. Like I said, it is not an exact match. It's a little closer to a teal. So I figured if it's not right next to the green, it's not going to be as obvious that it's not the same shade. So I kind of eyeball where I want to put the film strip, and I want to make sure that I have room for this graduation gown over here on the right side, and that is from a Jolie's collection called Cap and Gown. And just like with my daughter's layout that I either did or am going to do, I can't remember, sorry. But with that, I had, I used the black cap and gown, and her graduation cap and gown are blue, and my nieces are green and yellow. So, you know, it doesn't matter to me. The blue would have disappeared into this page, just like, or the green would have disappeared into the background paper, just like the blue would have with my daughter's layout. So the black actually helps stand out and bring the title in when that gets here. And on the sketch, it does have a thing on here for long title, so I'd kind of go there, but not necessarily. But the sketch, the prompt called for the wood grain, and I got that covered. So I do use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to put these down, and I thought about putting the cap right above the graduation gown and changed my mind and decided it could be the beginning part of the cluster up here at the top. And then I take this little banner that says graduate and put that above the graduation gown. And then I literally use every piece off of this collection. Even though the two ribbons both say congratulations with honors, I still use them. And since they're circular, I decide to put my Dotty About flare in the third cluster so that there are 3 circular pieces in each cluster. So I take the little diploma that's rolled out and I glue that down and tuck it a little bit under the cap and gown, or the cap. Let me get my words out. And then I take the rolled diploma and I actually put it kind of in the hand of the graduation gown. And I use my Nouveau Deluxe so that it would stay. And I really love the way that looks. And I'm glad that I thought to put it there. I was like, where am I going to put this? And so, yeah, it worked out really well there. So I take this little award thing that says congratulations with honors and just tuck it a little under the cap and above, on top of the diploma. And then take the other one and tuck it under this little, it's probably supposed to be like a leather, you know, like you get your diploma in from high school. So I tuck it in over in that bottom left cluster. And then I'm pretty certain I'm going to put my Dotty About flare here. And I've put some foam, fun foam from Walmart on there. I'm running out of fun foam, and now I only have unfun foam. So I'm only using it right now for my Dotty About flare because it works best there. And then I decide to get out my Delusion Shimmer Spray and Black Marble. And I guess originally when I was doing my video, you know, the beginning of the video, I usually try and get all my stuff out that I'm going to share and use on the layout or attempt to use. And I wasn't paying attention to the fact that there is mixed media on this layout. It's like, I guess I wasn't, well, I obviously wasn't paying attention, guys. So I tap it out. I cover the entire pictures. I'm not worried about the cap and gown, obviously, because they're black and so is the shimmer spray. But in the sketch, it is the bottom left corner and the top right corner. And that is pretty much what I do. I just tap it out. Not as much as what's in the collection or in the sketch, but I felt like this was enough to bring the black on to all 4 corners of the lamp. So I turn it in and then end up tapping it out on the top as well. And I love these Delusion shimmer sprays because they are shiny. And so that's just going to add to the shiny from this background paper, as well as the gemstones I bring in just a little while. Spoiler alert. And so I get that all my mess cleaned up from all the black ink that gets on my desk. Normally when I do this stuff, I put it in a box, but when I do these videos, I just never do that. So then I make sure that my picture doesn't have any ink on it, which luckily it did not. And so now thought I would use Enamel Dots because I've got that yellow, and that yellow is going to go okay with what I've got. But I don't have a green that's not like a mint or a light or pastel. So I decided to put my Enamel Dot bucket away and get my container with my gemstones out. And I know that I have this one, which is gorgeous. I just got from my friend Sarah. And then I find this Go Create. I got these at Walmart. They were like $1, and I love them. And there is a bold green, which is like a Kelly green, and a yellow. And I think that this is perfect. It's not the same shady yellow, obviously, as this lighter color in the film strip, but it is a lovely yellow, and I think it works just fine. And I use the white to complement, so I do the white, the yellow, and the green, and make 3 clusters in different arrangements in the 3 clusters. And then it's time for a title. So I pull these stickers out, and these stickers are called Skylar. They're foam stickers, and when you're talking about a graduation, I feel like the word celebrate totally works. And I wasn't 100% sure what else I want to do, but over there on the right, you see that circle says Class of 2020. And that came from a Reminisce The Graduate. I've created at least one layout with that collection already. Through the 30 days of sketches, I think it was day 2 maybe. And so I love that collection, but some of it was really gold, and while the word of is gold in here, the rest of them were like, there was a lot of gold. So I thought, because of the circle in the background and the 3 circular things that I have in my clusters, this was perfect. So I use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I glue behind the Celebrate, especially since it's going on this textured paper on top of mixed media. It's coming up a little on a bump because it's going on top of the film strip, and in person you can see that perfectly fine. So then I think, okay, I'm going to put the circle right below here. So officially the title, Celebrate Class of 2022. Nope, Class of 2020. Shoo. And it just looks silly right on that silvery colored paper. So I think I'm going to cut a circle and put it in a green circle. And then I think I don't have a piece that's big enough unless I use the full circle I cut out of this page. And I have plans for that. So, because I have more graduation pictures of my niece. So what I decide to do is just put it on the strip and banner it just like the word of is bannered in the sticker. And I love the way that turned out. So I just put that on some fun foam, and I put that below the word celebrate, crossing over on top of the film strip a little bit, but not to where it's going to cover anything. And I love it. I am very pleased with the way this layout turned out. I am impressed that it happened so quickly. Every once in a while, you just need those easier or a little less is, I like to do more is more sometimes, but sometimes you need a little bit less. So I love the way it turned out, and now I'm going to show you the sketch again and then the up-close pictures. I would love, love, love for you all to go down below into the description box. And in the description box is all of the people who are playing along with 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, or at least quite a few of them. Christy has done an amazing job gathering all of these sketches. The first half were some that she collected from different outlets on the internet. The second half, since the 15th, have been sketches that those of us who are on the hop are we contributed, and so she selected some of our sketches, which is super exciting. So I hope you all will go down below and follow along and go get some inspiration from all these amazing scrappers. And I hope you all will come back and see me again tomorrow for day 23. Super excited, and I hope you all get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!